Hello, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Roberta Robbins, and thank you for joining me on this particular reading, which will be for the Virgo season of 2021. It has been a couple of seasons since I have done one of my forecasts. I think Taurus season was the last one. So happy that I'm here, returned back. I've had a lot of you reach out and say that you've been missing this. And I always personally feel the autumn as we start to pull into that season. We can feel the autumn days here in the Northern Hemisphere kind of starting to, get their energy flowing. Like there's an energy that starts to flow in our mornings where we can feel the cooler mornings and the shorter days and the cooler nights, and we can feel that fall is just around the corner. And I find naturally I start to come back into a routine and wanting to anchor into something like monthly readings and forecasts, and coming back into a still point and something more physical and tangible. And the summertime, I find it's harder, at least for me, to want to have like a set structure of things. And curious how the summertime feels for you guys. I always just want to get out and enjoy every drop, every ounce of summer days, the warmth, the sunshine, the outdoor activities. So here we are again. We are, as of today, as I'm doing this reading, it is Virgo season as of today. And Virgo season brings in this beautiful time for us to come back home to earth, come back to our routines, come back to our bodies, our wellness, what we are building, what we want to anchor into, what do we want to devote time and energy to. And it's just more easy to get into these sacred harmonies, these sacred cycles, a little bit more easy than the fieriness of Leo, or that mother water intuition of Cancer season or summer solstice, when everything, the energies just kind of feels like it's building and building. So not only today is Virgo season, the mark of Virgo season of 2021, but it is also a full moon day. And it is a special, a rare full moon because it is a blue moon, is the second Aquarius full moon. And it has been ushered in with us just an hour after that full moon peak, and we have shifted from the last decan, the last mastery point, the crone point of Aquarius into Pisces too, and then ushering into this beautiful autumn season that is soon upon us. So I'd like to keep this always fairly intuitive and going with the flow right in the moment. Sometimes it's a very loud message before I start doing a reading of like a structure, a flow. And today it wasn't. Today I was like, okay, I'm just settling into it. And we're going to go with what is being called to us in the moment, to what we need. And so I'm going to start with our theme cards, because that always kind of gets the energy moving, gets the messages coming in. And then we'll go into breaking down a bit of this Virgo season that will take us to autumn equinox in September. So on the 22nd of September, I believe, is when we have our autumn equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere this year. So we'll do a little bit of a forecast and a flow of just energetically what the cards, what the messages, what spirit, what source would like us to have a little heads up, give us some support, give us some guidance. And so I also remind you guys that these readings here, this one in particular, is for the collective. Actually, all my readings are for the collective. I just some have a little more feel if I'm doing zodiac or life path numbers, and that then it has a little bit more focus to those individuals. But we're keeping this as a general reading for Virgo season for the collective. So take what resonates and let go and leave behind what doesn't resonate. Sometimes there's very particular messages that come through for just, some particular people that have connected with this reading. I felt called, and sometimes there's very strong energetic readings and messages that come through for those people. But I know you guys are wise and that you know and feel into the vibration of what is right for you. So let's just take a moment and invite you guys to, so whatever time, space, reality you are in when you come to this reading, just take a moment to connecting with our breath, connecting with the time and space that we are in, opening up those pathways and doorways that we are connecting always as one, that there's no time in the bigger picture, that a time is time and we are all in the moment of this space. And divinely knowing that if you are here, you're here for this moment, for something to come in for you. So I invite you to open up to receive what is for your highest good and any guidance that your higher self is wanting your attention, that source spirit, that this season is wanting to give you some love and guidance. So let's just breathe that in together deeply. And exhale out as we come into the space and time with these beautiful cards. I'm using Oracle cards and tarot. And as always, guys, I will list in my description what cards I'm using, and I list them in the order that I use them in case anything is of interest for you guys. All right, so source line asking for guidance for the Virgo season of 2021. What is the energetic themes for the collective as we navigate this next zodiac season, Virgo 2021? It says nothing will come of this situation, and it's the void of course moon. Very important, I think, right now, as collectively we are in a lot of the unknown. We are creating a new and a different way collectively in this world right now, on this planet. And there is a lot of things stirring where there's a lot of, we don't know what's happening. There's pieces and playing of different things that are happening, right, for each of us and for us all. We don't know. And so I feel like there's a really strong message, especially for those that might be feeling into a little bit of fear and worry, or there's something of a top note in your life during Virgo season of trust. Nothing is going to come of this situation. It feels like a deeper calling and invitation for you to sink into your faith, into knowing you have power and choice, and taking the time to know what that is, and then putting the energy and the commitment and devotion into that choice, into that path. And all will work out. Another supportive message and guidance here for Virgo season. Release the dark wound. Let love live. Another very important, I think, collective message here for us. We're having to really let go of fear right now, to recognize it. We have woundings and things from our past within our world, within our cultures, within our communities, within our countries, within families, so many things. And that there is a pivotal time right now, an opportunity for us to heal, to look within to that dark container, the darkness, to look within of things that are scary and fearful, things that have been lingering and hurting, not only for ourselves, but definitely collectively. And it's time to let love live. So letting love in to live, to let love be an expression of actual energy that is a living essence. And how do we walk with that? What does that look like? So I felt like called to look at the bottom of my deck right now, and it says, she feels, she knows. And out of all the years I've had this particular deck, I've never seen this card. So that's quite interesting. She knows, she lives, or sorry, she feels, she knows. And it's number 22. And today, as I'm doing this reading, is the 22nd. So something very powerful about our own honoring of ourselves, what we feel, what we know, allowing that to come to the surface and empower us in our choices. And one more card here to give us a bigger complete picture here of a theme guidance for this Virgo season. Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. In a time that we are all thinking about health and wellness and choices for our body, choices to help us be whole and well, there is a lot of information out there right now in regards to topics of this, so that there is support. And this card here is, I really feel is like there is a higher supportive guidance. There's support around you to help you be open, to open your heart, to open your mind, to open how you hear and receive. Be open to healing whatever needs to be healed, whether it is actually the physical body, but it feels more like, to me, I feel as though it's very prominent to what's going on in our world right now, and allowing there to be a time of being humble, being open, being curious, and allow yourself to look at information that's around you and what pieces might need to be healed within what we're seeing and hearing and being given information out there in regards to health and wellness and medicine. And we can elaborate obviously on what levels and areas of that could possibly mean for us in our world right now. So I'm going to sit for a moment here, just a moment, and get some guidance on how Spirit wants to guide this reading. Spirit like to guide this reading for those that feel called to come to this. Yep, I'm hearing weekly. We're going to break this down over 4-week cycle until we shift into a Libra season. How we will be navigating with some guidance for us over the next 4 weeks. Okay. So I'm hearing, and what I'm seeing actually is a card for each week, and then the supportive card there for us, and then we'll go from there. So the first week of Virgo season, so starting right now, so pretty much until like the 29th of August, our first week, card for us, collectively supporting, guiding us, top notes, guidance for us for that first week. 5 of Swords. Second week, the 8 of Swords. Third week, the 9 of Swords. What do you guys think? This is going to be another Swords? Let's see. Oh, thank goodness. the King of Pentacles. All right. Whew, man, we are obviously the first 3 weeks are really mastering our thoughts. Oh, and being in our mind, trying to figure out something here. But the great thing is, second week here, we got more power, more in the divine feminine of being clear and centered and grounded. But we got some, it almost, I can feel already, it's going to be a week of, you know, some things coming in, and then it'll get a little more clear, and then there'll be some other things, a little more rest and heaviness, and then we'll get into a mastery and something a little more grounded, which is beautiful because we are coming into this, like I said, we're in Virgo as of today, Virgo season, and Virgo season is Earth. It is the second sign of the zodiac wheel of Earth element, Virgo. And so there is this wisdom, this groundedness. And by the time we are entering that 4th week, we're feeling like we are mastered, sinking into the earthness, the groundedness, the solidness of ourselves. But we go through those first 3 weeks sorting out stuff here is what I'm seeing, especially within our minds. So right now, the first week, I really feel like this reading already is very focused collectively on like what's going on. It's top of note for most of us, navigating so much of what we don't know what's happening in our countries, in our communities, in our world, with so much shifting right now that has felt very heavy. It is very heavy at times, and then we have a little bit of light moments, and then it gets heavy because there's just stuff that's pushing us to stand in power and really know what's important for us. So we have this first week, the 5 of Swords, and so there's 5 is like they want some movement, there wants liberation and change, but 5s can also be this, you know, internal kind of battle a bit. And because it's swords are the mind, air element there, and so there's a lot up in the brain trying to sort it out, reaching for liberation, reaching for there to be a movement and change. And we are in that, definitely in the first week we're going to be feeling that. And no doubt, I even think what's going on here in Canada, you know, we have a lot of new things happening for us, being pushed, whether or not things are going to new things are going to be put in place or not. We have elections, we have so much things in it. We're trying to sort out where it is, how we want our freedom. And this particular 5 of Swords of this particular deck here, the Light Seers deck, there is this victory light. I love this one in a sense, like, you know, he's got his hand on his head a bit. He's got almost like this crow is on his shoulder, like almost like talking in his ear, right? But there's movement and flight up and out. And here is a gentleman, like a body, a person in the back here, who arms are raised, and there's light and evolution. There is light. There is evolving into something pure, getting out of any struggles in the mind. There may be a journey depending on how well we navigate things. So we're gonna, I think in the first week, what I'm hearing is we have the opportunity to also witness how well we navigate things, how well we take note of what is in the mind, and where will we direct that energy. Does the journey to get to that higher state and the more aligned, the more balanced harmony within the mind and dropping it through the emotions and the body into the heart, is that an easy thing? Or does it take a lot of energy? Is it a battle? Are you losing energy? So there's going to be this gift in watching that and understanding that about yourself as you come into a higher plane of source energy and letting that flow through you, instead of things being in confusion in just the mind. And then our second week, we have the Queen of Swords. She's more clear, she's more solid. So we go through this journey the first week, and we anchor in the second week here of that clearer thought, clearer mind. She's posed, she's looking out, she's more content in her body, in where she is. She's using her intuition more. This particular card has a bowl locked down in the corner, like almost like a little prison, which is a bit of a warning. I find for this card is being weary or mindful, not weary, it can be weary, but being more mindful. Have you locked down your emotions, your heart? Somewhere have you kept it out of a decision, a thought? Or can you also be aware of your heart and the emotions too as you clear of mind, clear your choice, knowing where you're going, you're ready. And with the waters of things nowadays, the landscape of life, you know, I think it's important to point out she's got this sword. She's ready. And I think that's a really important message for quite a few people right now is being ready and confident and sure about where you're going, what your choices are, and what you're wanting. But I do feel like there's a little warning there to make sure you do check in with the heart, right? You do check in with your feelings. And there's all this blue around her, this, you know, it's reminding me, you know, it's, she's up high, she's got the clouds, but there's this blue that's also make her really think about the deeper waters also to have our balance when we are clear of mind. Our third week goes into the 9 of Swords. I feel like, you know, the second we might be putting some energy out there, putting some action, moving forward. And the third week may need some rest. To sort out things that we may have more information coming in. And of course, sorry, I'm just looking at my calendar beside me. That third week brings us when the, you know, here in Canada, kids go back, it's our Labor Day weekend. We get into this different kind of routine. There's going to be a new energetic, especially those that do have kids and school and stuff. And that's also going to be like a different energy for people that work in a school system. It's also going to affect parents, it's going to affect those that are, you know, or even, you know, part of people that have kids in school. We're going to feel, even myself, I don't have children and I don't go through that, but I feel that I can feel collectively that movement when children are back in school. There's an energy that we feel in our own communities about that. So there's going to be things moving and shifting. We're trying to find a new footing. And so I also feel like that we're going to feel it collectively and in even more as a message that take time, rest. This card, the 9 of Swords, also is, you know, we're almost to that completion of something here, but there's been a bit of a journey and can be a bit of a fight to get to something, like holding your ground. But there also needs to be rest of the mind, rest that the energy that goes in there, and just allow things to be. Take time if things are surfacing too. Care, go within. I am also getting the message of even those of you with family and kids, I'm hearing like a container, making sure you have this lovely bubble of containers that's going on within your family structures, and that especially during that first week that the kids go back to school, so you can ground and rest together too, and us collectively needing some nurturing time in that third week of September. And then our last week before we get to leaving Virgo season and coming up to where we're going to shift into official fall and Libra season, we have the King of Pentacles. And this is one of my favorite cards. I would say the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and they very much have, you know, that this one being masculine. There's this, like, you've reached a point of being solid, of knowing, being grounded, wholeness, centered, knowing the work that you've done, things that you've learned and mastered, of having loyal people and friends and family around you, and abundance and home. Like there's something by that last week of Virgo season that's gonna feel more like you're landing into the essence of that season and the essence of home, of yourself and home of what is around you physically, because the Pentacles are that earth sign, the physical, your friends, your family. So we leave this season feeling the master, the king of our domain around us, especially the 3D world. But we go through learning how to navigate some things through this month. And next one, since most of Virgo season is going to happen in the month of September, we also have a 5 energy month. And so, you know, it's this change, this liberation, this freedom. It's like having to negotiate, navigate, and at times maybe even fight, stand up for what you're wanting, what you believe in. And I know you guys know this is totally where we are in the world right now. So it's just Virgo season is going to give you the footing, the solidness, something that can be, I'm hearing just like they're saying you can get traction is what I hear. You can get a good footing and make a difference and see it and feel it throughout the Virgo season. All right. So what else do we need here, Source? Anything else? Yep, I'm hearing them just to give a 3. I'm going to use this one here. 3 card tarot cards, another tarot deck I'm going to pull here. Just as an overall, as we navigate these times and this flow through the weeks, what's the outcome? It's almost like if we're saying we're going to give you a 3 card outcome energetically, guidance of what this 4-week is. There's one there that's coming out. That's a great one. This is another sword. We really are in our minds, guys. That's for sure. But thank goodness we're in an earthy season to help us. Another ace of cups. We have new beginnings. And there we go. And we got the Queen of Swords again. So we got the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. We doubled down. So really important that we've gotten 2 Queens of Swords here. And so definitely we're going to come out more sure, more clear, more focused, knowing our direction. And in the feminine essence of knowing, like trusting the intuition within ourselves. But here we have with the aces, the new beginnings in how we're thinking, logically, how we're approaching things, how we're communicating with each other. It is bounced within our hearts. We are going to come into a different heart space of our emotions and our love and how we are expressing things. There is a new opportunity, and we're going to be so clear in how our mind is, how we communicate, which is divinely perfect, as we definitely, when we start to think we're going to be going to Libra season, and Libra is an air season, and about the mind and about justice in fairness and equal opportunity of things, and a very feminine energy in itself. So overall, a very beautiful opportunity of the high notes of what this navigation will be for us and what the outcome and the feel will be. It will be new beginnings and us more in our power. And right now, I think, some of us are struggling about having clear communication, being out of our mind, being out of our minds. Well, some of us do feel like we're a little bit out of our minds, but out of the mind in the sense of so many things coming at us, so much information, not knowing from this to that and directions, and so many different things saying it's going to be this way, that way, and we don't know. And so it's so much of us navigating and mastering what's happening within communication, within our minds, how we think, to mastery, to new starts, and being more clean and clear about that direction for us. So, and just reminding our top notes here, I always like to kind of sometimes go to the top to remind us nothing will come of this situation. So there's this feel of don't let fear carry you away. Release the dark wound. Let love live. Reach for love. Let it be a living expression from you, within you, and outwards, and be guided with that, and let that have life out in the world. And then the medicine guardian, be open to healing information. So be open. If you're being too rigid within the thoughts and the minds and beliefs, allow there to be a bit of an opening and healing, and call upon, for those of you that connect here, medicine guardian. Call upon that medicine guardian. I always think when I see this card too, I always think of Archangel Raphael here too, and emerald green, and healing, the green healing and medicine and plant, and coming in and help your body and your well-being be vibrant too during these times. So I'd love to hear how you guys are doing throughout the season. Drop me a message. Feel free to share this with anybody that you think this might be supportive for the next season, Virgo season. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I hope the big, beautiful full moon in Aquarius has given you some clarity and insight, and that it has been a more gentle, loving part of this past 29-day moon cycle. And thanks for connecting here with me today.